Welcome all. Just going to show you a quick video on how to create automatic bar drawings within Logikal. So first of all, we're going to load up our project. We're going to find the phase of works we're working on. We're going to load up the drawings. I'm working in Woodbury Down project at the minute, so current wall screen 210B, and we're going to highlight the screen. We're going to go over here, so on the CNC menu we're going to hit bar drawings. We're going to use the selected position, hit OK. So the settings, these are user specific settings, so we're going to need to set up these settings for each individual user. So first of all, we're going to have the two faces selection only once clicked. We're going to choose our profiles for this one, so there's certain ones we're not going to need, so this we can leave this selected. We're not going to create an index, we're going to leave the barcode on just for the pure fact of remakes. We're going to keep the remakes if we have any. We can quickly zap the barcode and it'll bring up the preps for that bar, so we'll keep that on. Default settings for label size and font size are completely fine, so that's great. Output format, CAD drawing, one bar drawing per page, that's fine. So with the curtain wall settings, we're going to keep the top three off. So adjacent transoms we do not need, transom cleats we don't need, and material packages we don't need. We're going to keep the whole profile group on with the insulator and with inner glass gaskets, and then the centre line reference we're going to keep off. Dimensioning we can keep. It will be different for other projects, more complex projects, but for this one we're going to keep it without. Just cleans up the drawing a bit, so it's nice and easy to read. Detailed length dimensions we want to keep checked. List machinings and display CNC group names we want to keep unchecked. It's not necessary. Again, it just clogs up the drawing. We don't need it at all. And we're going to split the display and summarise similar bars, so that's fine. And the bottom two we can keep unchecked as well, that's great. So these are specific user settings we need to set up for each individual login name. So there they are, that's fine. So hit OK. So we come to this screen, so I'll remove them all for the start. What we're going to do is we're going to pick the profiles we want to have a bar prep for. So in this case we're going to use the mullion. So any bar over here or any profile over here is going to have an automatic bar prep. We're going to need the transom over there, and we're going to need the mullion connection, the spigot or the sleeve. So that's fine. Again, in certain circumstances we're going to use these, but for this demonstration I'll just show you how to do the mullion transoms and the sleeves. So that's great. So hit OK. So we come into Logikal's version of CAD. It's pretty similar to CAD, to be fair. It's like an old version, so you zoom in, zoom out with the mouse wheel, and then hold the mouse wheel down to sort of pan around the drawing. So the first page, we have our pages down here. This is the preps Logikal, or the bar preps Logikal's output automatically. So we've got our mullions. We have our machining preps and settings, but I'll go into that in a minute. So yeah, and what it would do is it would identify identical bars and make a list next to this to say the cut side and the transom center, so it's quite good. And then we've got the transoms at the end. So first off, we just want to, I've been getting rid of this, we don't need that. On a straight cut screen it's not necessary, it's another thing that just clogs up the drawing, so we can just get rid of that, so that's fine. So we have a spigot of 500mm, and then we've got a quantity of 12, we've got our position it's on, and then our profile and size, and then the length, width and height down here. So that's it with that one, don't need to do nothing with that at all. Any machining that would be applied to this if we was to set up a machining on this. It would display here, but for this demonstration, that's absolutely fine. That's cool. So it goes so. So on this one again, so we're into the mullions now. We can see a cross section here with the height and the width of the profile. Again, we want to get rid of this line just to free up the drawing a little bit, clean it up a little bit. So we've got our profile, got the size of the profile and the length of the bar. We've got our mullion name or reference. We've got the quantity and the position this mullion's associated with. So CW210B, that's great. We've got the length, the width and the height also. So it's all good. So on this one we've got our full length of the bar, the cut size, and then we've got our transom centres running along here. All machinings is brought into this drawing automatically, so you haven't got to worry about any machining. It's all done automatically by Logikal. We've got the transom centres and then the top or the bottom notch for the EPDM. Yeah, so that's cool. And then, like I said, we've got the cross section here, which is great. So on this particular screen, there's a couple of things you want to do. We need to add some slave. We need to add acoustic infill, and we need to add our drainage deflectors and isolator. With the isolator, you can input it in the profile option. For this demonstration on this screen, it's slightly offset, cut over here, so I'm going to leave it off and just show you how to use a simple rectangle just to draw out a shape representing the isolator. So yeah, so first things first, we can hit this button up here, add profile. Right, so we type in our profile code. Okay. So it brings in very similar to CAD. So we've got a block. So it creates a block. So all these profiles that you select from here are in the database, and it creates a block. So if we right click and then edit, we come into the block editor of Logikal. So I've been getting rid of these little pieces again just to clean up the drawing, make it nice and easy and easily read. We're going to select the object by right clicking select, and then we're just going to hit this 90 degrees rotate and then click. So we're upright, so the profile's upright. We can then close the block editor, save the block, and then we've got our profile upright, so we're just going to move this into position. Again, just so it's nice and easy, everyone knows what they're doing. So we're going to push that down there, so that's fine. So it's quite obvious that there's spigot to go in this profile. Then we're going to annotate, so we need to find the flag option in the menu bar down the left. This is it. It should appear in the screen while I'm at home. I've got a small screen, so yeah, it's in this customised toolbar part, but yeah. So hit flag, we're going to click the object, click it once, bring the leader away, and click it again, and then one more click, so it gives us the part code. And then we're just going to edit it and put a little bit of fabrication information on this bit of text. So it's great. So all the default settings are absolutely fine. With more complicated drawings, we'll layer them up, but for this example, we don't really need to. Everything is fine, so we hit OK. So it's just give us a little bit of information about this spigot, where it's going. Right click and you can edit it. Just put the length of the bar in there. That's fine. So yeah, that's that done. So we're next going to create a drainage spout. Drainage spouts sit around here on the top of the bar. It's not defaulted in Logikal Aluminium system yet, so I'll show you how to quickly do it. So we're going to use the polygon tool with a hatch. So we click polygon, all these settings are fine, so we can just hit OK. I'm going to make it over the side and we'll bring it over to here. So yeah, so again it's just a rough shape, it doesn't have to be exact, it's just a rough shape to represent the drainage deflector. And then once we've finished our shape, we can just hit escape and it fills the shape in with a hatch. So this tool down here is a select area tool. So we can select this part and then we can move it into position, just a rough position because we're going to dimension this anyway, so we can hit move, we can bring it to where it needs to be. This button here deselects everything, which is quite handy. And then we're going to use the dimension tool, the horizontal dimension, just to dimension this drainage route. Just again, so it's very clear, everyone knows what they're up to. Or again, all the standard settings are absolutely fine. So we hit OK, and then it gives us our dimension. We're just going to click again, and then we can just cancel that, and then we've got our dimension on the drainage route. So that's great. Next thing we're going to add is acoustic infill. Oh, this is coming. Just put this back. Just going to move this back into position. Right, okay, yeah, so I'm going to do our acoustic infill now. So we're just going to use this hatch tool. It's going to make a hatch of rectangular shape. Again, it's just a representation, and then we're going to pick our filling colour. Default hatch size is fine, or hatch distance is fine, so we just hit the tick. And then we're going to draw out a hatch. I'm going to draw it in line with the bars. You see the lines going off here and up. It gives you a bit of a guide. So I'm just going to use them to draw out a rectangular hatch. That's great. And then we're going to add a flag. Again, 1 click, 2 clicks, and then try it like that. We haven't got a code for this, so we're just going to write the acoustic infill. It's great, default settings are fine. Yeah, okay. So we get our text. So that's great. The last thing I need to do on this drawing is just create a rectangle just to represent the isolator, and then we are done. So I'm just going to draw that again, a rough shape, just to represent the object. Doesn't have to be anything special, it's just so we can see it, we know what it is. It's easily identifiable. With this as well, we're just going to annotate it, just so everyone knows. And all the default settings are fine. That's great. That is that drawing done. There's nothing else that needs to go on now. That drawing is complete. We've got all the machining, all the extras, non-standard parts, or bespoke parts, or bespoke elements. Everything's there. It's great. If we need to, we don't need to in this circumstance, but I'll just quickly show you how easy it is to get a gasket or a rebate profile or anything like that just into the drawing, just to represent the gasket. So if we hit this add profile button, going to go down to the profiles, we're going to type in our profile code, and then we're going to get a list of gaskets. that we use, and again it's very similar to the spigot where it gives you a block, gives you the gasket. We can right click edit, and then we get the block editor, and then we can just get rid of these little pieces. So again, we don't need that, just clog up the drawing, so we can just right click, delete, Control and Z to undo, and then we can just get rid of these little pieces. And then we're going to select the object, we're going to rotate it, click, and then close the block area down, and we want to save the current block, and then we've got our block. So just before moving anything, it's quite good to click the deselect tool. As you see earlier, it moves stuff around as you move it. So we just select the gasket, and then we're going to move it into position. Like I said, this gaskets and bits and pieces are coming out in the location drawing, so we don't need to do this, but just to show you how it's done. And then we can annotate this gasket. It should give you the code. Yep, gives us the code. So that's great. So one last thing just to show you in here, if we go to edits and then down the bottom of the edit menu there's a page administration, we can add a new page. So we're going to add it to the back end of page 11, so we're going to add page, and this gives us a blank page to work with. Again, this is just to show you. So what we can do in here is we can insert the position, and then we can find our position or our curtain wall grid, and we can double click it, and we're going to insert CW210B. So this is going to bring in our grid, so the whole grid, and then what we're going to do is cross section this, so we can set section line, we can hit a cross section here, and then we've got cross section of our mullion with all the profile codes, all the gaskets, the glass size, and we've got the pressure plate and cap on, we've got the drawing in there with the glass thickness and that. This is not necessary, it's just to show you what can be done in here. Yeah, so that's another little trick, which is nice. And then all we're going to do is going to print this drawing, or I'll show you the print plot. So we hit file, print plot, we're going to print the whole drawing. So we set up our printer defaults up here. We're going to be using an A3 piece of paper. This is our paper space and title block, similar to CAD. So to zoom into an element, you just hit hold Control and use the scroll wheel on the mouse just to scale it up a bit. This is orthographically moved the object, so with this tick you can go vertically, horizontal. With it unchecked you can move the drawing in any direction, which is nice. So we're just going to move that into position, and that's great. That's an A3. And the paper space, I'll put this on another tutorial, but the title block, I'll put this on another tutorial, but we're just going to hit print. That's going to send us off to our printer and print the paper out, and then it comes back. What we want to do here is just save drawing. We want to save it in Project CAD. This is going to save it within our project. So this is going to save it in documents file over here within our project. So if we just hit save, so once we go back to Logikal, we can close this down now, once we go back to Logikal, we can go in a document pool for this position, and we got it there, Alex test 2, and then just double click and it'll come back and you can edit it and save it for later. You can do your bits and pieces and whatever needs to be done. All this stuff can just be copied and pasted over to the other drawings if needs be. And then, like I said, that's pretty much done. Page 12 is our thing. Page 11 is the transoms. So this is similarising all the bars. So with the transoms, all we've got is a notch at the top of the bar or front of the bar. And we've got our CNC preps, and then we've got our quantity and our referencing down here. We can save that, and again it's just going to save it, overwrite this one, so it's going to overwrite our bar drawings, and then that's associated with any document in this pool is associated with these screens. So just to show you, I can go back. We can go into this screen. It's the one we've been working on, and we can just see our document pools over here all filled up. Cool, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you've got any feedback or any improvements or whatnot. Thanks very much. Cheers.